Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. Today I'm going to be doing my NFL Week 6 power rankings. Last week I thought I did okay. Some decent changes this week. There was a total of 14 games, and be interesting to see what y'all think of my power rankings. And let's get into it. We're going to go from 32 to 1. Starting off with 32, I think it's obvious. It's the Carolina Panthers. They're the only 0-5 team in the NFL, and they've looked like the worst team in the NFL. They're young, so I'm not going to hate on them. And they're probably working on improvements. They're trying to make some trades. They're trying to buy at the trade deadline. So they're trying to get a number one wide receiver for Bryce Young. So I'm not fully giving up on this Panthers team. I don't think I wouldn't say there's no hope for playoffs because they're in their division with the NFC South. Although the Falcons and Buccaneers and Saints have looked good, 3-2, 3-2, and 3-1 for those other teams in the division. So I would say it's pretty much not likely that they win the division, but I wouldn't say they're fully out of it just yet. Let's see who they acquire at the trade deadline because they're supposed to be big buyers. 31, I have the Arizona Cardinals. Previously had them at 25. Last week when I ranked the Cardinals, I wasn't fully, giving up on their performance from the Cowboys because they did beat the Cowboys, 28-16, and their loss before and last week in week 5, last week and the week before week 4, their loss in week 4 was to the 49ers. So I wasn't going to fully take a big hit on the Cardinals last week, but this week lost by 14 to the Bengals, so I believe the Cardinals are the second worst team in the NFL. At 30, I have the Patriots. They've been outscored 72-3 in their last 2 games. Previously had them at 28. Patriots have been horrendous in the last 2 games. I mean, like the first 3 games, they didn't look too bad. They were playing good. The first 3 games, they looked good. They looked really good. They nearly beat the Dolphins and the Eagles. They beat the Jets. They were looking good in the first 3 weeks, but the last 2 weeks, they've been terrible. At 29, I have the Giants. You can put the Giants and the Patriots up there, and the Panthers. Those have been the 3 worst offenses in the NFL so far to start out the season, and the Giants have been horrendous as well. Last week I had them at 29. At 28, I had the Broncos. They're previously at 30. Why are the Broncos jumping up? And I'll tell all you guys right now. The Broncos are jumping up because teams like the Arizona Cardinals and the New England Patriots, who I believe the Broncos have been better than, deserve to jump them. Then at 27, I have the Minnesota Vikings, previously 27. I know the Vikings are 1-4, and they've played a lot of games they should have won, but they make clear mistakes, turnovers, and they just lost Justin Jefferson for IR, and I don't think it's going to get any better for this Vikings team. At 26, I have the team the Vikings play this week. That's the Chicago Bears. Previously had them at 31. The Bears and Justin Fields have looked a lot better in the last couple of weeks, and I think it's going to get a lot better for them. I think the Bears win their 2nd straight game in a row. How crazy would that have been? After not winning a game in almost a year, I think the Bears win their 2nd straight game. The Viking, if Justin Jefferson was available, I would think there's a chance for the Bears to win it. So with the Vikings being without Jay Jettis, I think it's going to be a great chance for the Bears to win their 2nd straight game. At 25, of the Packers, previously at 21 after losing Monday Night Football 17-13 last night. Jordan Love looked horrendous, and he's not looked good in the last 3 games. At 24, the Commanders, previously at 16. I don't want to hate on the Commanders too much because they've been solid, but they got their butts kicked by the Bears and got embarrassed at home 40-20 on Thursday Night Football. That's really all I have to say. At 23, I have the Tennessee Titans. Previously had them at 17. I kind of was high on the Titans last week after they beat the Cincinnati Bengals 27-3, but now I think the Titans have gone back down to reality after losing to the Indianapolis Colts without their starting quarterback. And then at 22, I have the Raiders, previously at 26. The Raiders have been really solid this season, very underrated. I mean, week 1, they beat the Broncos. Week 2, I can't remember who they played. Week 4, they lost to the Chargers. Week 3, they lost to the Steelers in a close game. I can't remember who they I can't remember who they played week 2 at all, and I don't know why. But, I mean, they've been solid. They nearly beat the Chargers the week before, without their starting quarterback. They nearly beat the Steelers. So the Raiders have been pretty solid to start out the season, and I think they're underrated. They have an easy schedule in their next 5 games. They play the Bears, the Giants, the Jets, the Patriots, and I think the Vikings as well, or the Lions, which is a hard game. So I think you can definitely win 4 or 3 out of your next 5, if to be honest with the Raiders. At 21, I have the Texans, previously at 18. I mean, the Texans have kept it close with the Falcons. In my opinion, I think the Falcons are a better team than the Texans. And C.J. Stroud looked good. This Texans defense, was up 19-18 with less than 2 minutes remaining, but their defense sold in the game. Then at 20, I have the New York Jets, previously at 20. I mean, great performance by the Jets. I just don't see a lot of room to jump them up. And they beat the Broncos, so it's not that impressive. At 19, I have the Steelers, previously at 24. Their offense still looks horrendous, but their defense clutched up to get a good win against the Ravens, 17-10. At 18, I have the Rams, previously at 15. I know I hate to put a team that's 2-3 in the top 20, but with the Rams, it's different. They've been good this year. They're two. I'm not. Like 2, 3. They're 3. Let's go over their 3 losses. The Bengals against Joe Burrow, where he was actually kind of playing pretty okay. And then the Eagles and the 49ers, the 2 best teams, 2 of the 3 best teams in the NFL. So I'm not taking. I'm not thinking too much of the Rams record when I look into their, when I look into when I look into it, I'm not looking at their record because they're 2-3, losing to the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Eagles, and their 2 wins are against the Seahawks and the Colts, two good teams. So the Rams are a good 2-3 team in my opinion. At 17, I have the Saints, previously 22. What a beat down, but it was against the Patriots, so not jumping them up more than 17. At 16, I have the Bengals, previously 19. Good win, but it was against the Cardinals. Let's see how you do this week against a better NFC. It's an NFC West team and the Seahawks. That will be a good battle in Cincinnati this week. Then 15, I have the Ravens, previously 8. What a horrendous performance for the Ravens against the Steelers. And previously had them at 8. We'll see how the Ravens bounce back this week. In London against the Titans. At 14, I have the Falcons, previously 23. I hated on the Falcons last week. I mean, do you blame me though? Their offense in the the last 2 weeks before this game against the Texans, they had scored only 13 points on offense against the Jaguars and the Lions. So kind of hated on the Falcons after not producing a lot of offense before. At 13, I have the Browns, previously 14. They had the bye week, so not really too much intel on them. 12, I have the Colts staying at 12. Previously had them at 12. Great win but it was against the Titans. That's a home game, a division game. Good division game, but it was at home and it was against the Titans. At 11, I have the Cowboys, previously at 5. A terrible loss. I know it was against the 49ers, but you have a good defense. You gave up 42 points as a defense. That's not okay. And then 10, I have the Chargers, previously at 13. I mean, a lot of teams, ahead of you were doing bad. If you had the bye and you were at 13 and you jump up to 10, the Chargers had the bye and now they play the team that is behind them, the Dallas Cowboys, this week on Monday Night Football. At 9, another team jumping up 2 spots who had the bye, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who were previously at 11. At 8, I have another team that had the bye. You got 3 straight teams that had the bye. At 8, I have the Seahawks, who were previously 9. And then at 7, I have the Bills, previously 2. At 6, I have the team that the Bills lost to. At 6, I have the Jaguars at previously 10. At 5, I have the Miami Dolphins, previously 6. At 4, I have the Detroit Lions, previously 7. The Lions look like they're contenders, I'm sorry. At 3, I have the Eagles, previously 3. At 2, I have the Chiefs, previously 4. I wanted to put an AFC team at number 2 instead of, jumping up the Eagles. Last week I had the Bills, so I would think I thought it was a good idea to swap out the Bills for the Chiefs. And then at 1, I mean, I don't think you already know who it is. It's the San Francisco 49ers at 1. They're the best team in the NFL. They're unstoppable, and they're the most talented team in the NFL. So, yeah, that's it for my NFL Week 6 power rankings. You guys, them are your thoughts, and peace out.